Blue Jays pass it in cross field.
Scrambling for the ball.
Truman
is a Blue
gains
Jays
possession.
player, Anna Truman. Truman now has possession of the ball. Truman attacking downfield. Oh, a counterattack from the Blue Jays. They pass it back down left side to the wing. And they keep passing it to the wing left side as they're continuing for this attack. And what looks like the ball is out of bounds. It will be Blue Jays ball.
So what are you seeing so far, Tyler?
I'm really what this game has turned into right now is just counterattacks and then countering the counterattacks.
Nice save there by the goalie.
I mean, the goalies is definitely always got to be prepared. One slip up and that could be costly for them.
Truman gains possession there.
Truman going to the left wing and losing the ball. Blue Jays have counterattacked, but the ball is almost out of bounds, saved by a Blue Jay. Truman is trying to play some defense, get this ball back. And Truman with the counterattack of their own, but they kick it out of bounds. It is Blue Jays ball once again. Really what this game is also all about is kicking it out of bounds.
But really what they're trying to do there, kicking it out of bounds, is, clear it from the opponent's possession. They don't want the opponent to gain possession of the ball, so they just kick it out, and they force a throw-in.
A little confusion on the throw-in, and the ball has now been put back into play. And almost a goal. Truman just barely stopping that ball from going in.
Seemed like there was a little bit of miscommunication right there between the goalie and some of Truman's players.
I mean, wherever the miscommunication is, they still found a way to stop that ball from going in and costing them the first goal of the game. Truman with a deep cross to center field. Blue Jays counterattack. And right now, the Blue Jays are really just playing some nice defense and pushing Truman to their own side of the field.
I feel like this game is going to be won by the team who has most possession. Seems like both teams have an equal possession so far.
Truman counters attack and regains the ball. Followed by a swarm of Blue Jays. They pass it down to the right wing. And they pass it again. Oh, and it is saved by the Blue Jays goalie. And he throws it deep center field into the left wing. The Blue Jays now have possession of the ball, trying to get a magic of their own going on.
I believe that was Josue Ramirez who tried to pass it into Esteban Guerrera to try and get that goal, but it just did not work out for the Patriots.
Blue Jays playing a little bit possession-wise, so just sort of passing and dribbling the ball back to each other. They pass it to the goalie. The goalie does a cross to center field, and Truman regains possession. Truman is trying to go deep, but the goalie soon realizes this and counterattacks on Truman. It is now Blue Jays ball. Truman now regains possession by a missed kick from the Blue Jays, but the Blue Jays soon realize that, and it looks like there is possibly a foul
penalty there
on Truman.
Little contact from Johnny Contreras there.
Just a little bit.
Couple of headers from Truman.
Truman now has possession of the ball, but Blue Jays quickly regain that possession, and they could get it to their own man deep field. And Truman is just trying to go for this ball.
As they clear it there.
But that goalie is just, hey, you're not going to get this goal today.
Yeah, Blue Jays defenders have really adjusted since the first couple of minutes of this game. Truman pushed the defense at the beginning, but
Truman's ball
that's the other way
is
around.
Being held by a Blue Jay. Well, it's not every day you see someone holding another player. I mean, that's definitely a penalty in some respects, but not in soccer.
There's definitely some contact there. You are right.
But that ball was out on Blue Jays, so it is now Truman's ball. Truman throws it in, and the Blue Jays quickly realize this as they're just being a swarm. And a tackle kick out of bounds. It looks to be Blue Jays' ball. Number 4, Josue Ramirez was covering that deep ball, trying to get that curve hook into the goal. Just trying to get that first goal and just put themselves on top as true competitors here. Blue Jays currently have possession of the ball. All right. So what now are you seeing that it's now sort of later in the first half?
Well, seeing that the Blue Jays have adjusted on their defense, not so quite now, but earlier, Truman's been pushing the tempo and gaining possession, but it's been back and forth so far.
All right. So you're Tovar. What do you do when this game is just still at a standstill?
I tell my players to be aggressive just like the past 3 games and just let them play, man.
Truman with the counter attack, they now regain possession, but in the middle of confusion, and it looks to be possibly Truman's ball. Yes, it is Truman's ball, and they throw it in, and quickly set up by the Blue Jays with a missed kick. It is now Blue Jays' ball. Blue Jays just keep passing it back to each other, just sort of keeping Truman's defense just sort of off guard. Is that something that you want to do if you're the Blue Jays? Just sort of try to trick Truman right now?
Yeah, I feel like the Blue Jays have a game plan of just keeping possession here, taking their time, taking the game more professionally.
A head bob out of Truman. It is Blue Jays' ball. There's a pack of Patriots getting ready for this throw-in. I mean, with that just swarm, you're really just trying to get the ball out of their away from their feet at this point and just maybe get some things going well for you. And a throw in by Truman, and the goalie has recovered it and is getting ready to clear the ball. And the ball has been cleared. And actually right now has been cleared, and there's a Truman Patriot waiting right for, but he overlooked it and it bounced right in front of it. A head bob from Truman. It's still Truman's possession. There is 2 Blue Jays just trying to catch him off guard. All right, so the Blue Jays, they seem to love their 2-man double teams here.
Yeah, that's their strategy here. What I'm seeing so far is that Jose Calderon and Isaac Botello, the team's leading scorers, need to be on the aggression here and try to get some goals going.
But, I mean, if you're the Blue Jays doing this double team, wouldn't you want maybe like some of your lesser players just sort of stepping up in this game, and maybe the ones that aren't really being necessarily double teamed?
Yeah, players like Miguel Ramos and Josue Ramirez.
Head ball by Truman. It is Blue Jays ball, and a Truman player is there to defend it. It bounces off of his chest, and it is Truman's ball. They pass it deep to each other, and almost a lost ball, and yes, sadly it was a lost ball. Blue Jays recovered. The Blue Jays are passing it deep center, but here comes a swarm of Patriots, and sadly the ball just got away from the swarm.
Blue Jays on the attack here.
And way above the goal, the goalie cannot jump that high. But luckily it did not go in. So it is still 0-0 with 24 minutes left in the half.
There has been a couple of shots on net here. Just need to keep on being aggressive.
Okay, so if you're a swarm of Patriots covering one guy, what does that show?
Shows that they need to get back on defense and be aggressive toward the ball.
Blue Jays ball as they kick it deep to the right wing. And again, far right, away from the goal as it goes out of bounds. It will be Truman's ball as they get ready to clear it. All right, so what are you saying with the Blue Jays right now?
They really have been aggressive. They changed their tempo since the start of the game. They've had a couple of shots on net. Here you can see there's been a lot of contact from some of their midfield.
Truman's my mistake. It was Liberty's ball to the left wing, and it is a head bob from Liberty, and another head bob by Truman, another one by Liberty, and again, that's like 5 head bobs back to back. It is now Truman's ball. Multiple changes in possession with all those head bobs. Your heads have to hurt after that. I mean, that ball can't feel soft. That's gotta hurt.
And Truman just can't get anything going on offense right now. Struggling.
You really do need some of those less key players just sort of stepping up and just trying to show, hey, we're still part of this team and we're going to show up here. And we are back. We took a short break there. And it is still 0-0 as both sides of the offense just seem to be struggling. Now, is it really good defense, or is it just the offensive struggling?
I really think Blue Jays are doing a pretty good job at, not letting passes get through and letting no opportunities happen for the Patriots right now.
A header by Truman, and the Blue Jays counterattack and regain possession. Some miscommunication with his own feet there on the Blue Jays side, which leads to Truman's ball. Truman passes it to center field deep, passing it to the left wing, again to the left wing, and there seems to be a penalty
on Truman.
On Truman. It will be Blue Jays ball. All right. So Blue Jays are causing penalties here. Do you keep that going, or do you just sort of try to lay off of it and maybe just get that aggressiveness from Truman and have them slip up?
Yeah, the Truman's been having a tough time getting downfield towards the goal. Every time they get close, there seems to be some sort of penalty. So, seems like Blue Jays are capitalizing on that so far.
It is Truman's ball. The ball is now in the field of play, and a header from the Blue Jays. And appears another penalty on Truman, which will make it Blue Jays ball again. And looks like just every Truman player is just lined up on that, close to that goal line, just trying to stop this ball. And a header by Truman to move it out of bounds so that way it does not possibly land in the goal. That was a smart play by Truman there. Maybe having to force it out of bounds, but at the same time, not risking a goal.
Yeah, that was a close one there.
Actually, it appears it was a Blue Jay player who actually got it out of bounds. As we await for the ball to be put in play. Yeah. So, yes, indeed, it was the Blue Jays who hit it and got it out of bounds. A penalty on the Blue Jays. That makes it Truman's ball. All right. You got your first break here with that surprising header from Blue Jays just to sort of slip up and not get that goal. So if you're the Blue Jays after that, what do you do?
They've put a couple of shots on the goal here. You just need to keep on doing that.
All right, Truman, what do you do here now that you actually got a break and are able maybe to get something started?
Well, it seems like Truman just needs to keep possession here and hope for the best.
And that is out of bounds on Blue Jays. It is now Truman's ball as they put it into the field of play. Seems right now that most of the offense is coming from Omar Cano. He's really just sort of stepping up there and just trying to make part of this team, just get some goals and try to get some offense going.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to set some things up here as we see some contact from the Blue Jays being hard on defense once again. They're very aggressive.
That will be Truman's ball. And they kick it in a counterattack with a header from the Blue Jays. But Truman quickly recovers it and is just sort of passing it back. Oh, and a counterattack again by the Blue Jays, but Truman gets the ball after a miscommunication with his own feet. Ooh, Truman runs into a Blue Jays player. That seems to be number 4, Jose Ramirez, with that contact. I am surprised he was not called with that penalty.
Yeah, that was a close one there. I guess the ref just didn't want to call that one as Jose kicks it out of bounds, looking for a shot on the goal.
Are you sure he didn't want to call it or just didn't see it?
I believe he saw it. I just didn't think he had the time to call it.
Blue Jays with possession of the ball, passing it back down to Drew Plum. And they pass it down to their goalie, and the goalie clears it to the left wing, and it is Blue Jays ball, and shot still on the left wing, and a header, and what appears to be out of bounds. Number 13, Johnny Contreras, almost saved it from going out of bounds.
If he saved it there, it would have been a great job on defense by Truman, as they were being really aggressive there towards the goalie.
I mean, it's still 7-0, well, 0-0 correction, with a little less than 17 minutes to go. Looks like both are actually just playing somewhat decent defense now.
Yep.
Truman counters attack and is attacking.
As we see some aggression there from Jose Ramirez, he's had many chances and he just cannot capitalize.
Penalty on Truman. It is now the Blue Jays ball. And a counterattack from Truman, but then just some miscommunication with his own feet led to the Blue Jays able to quickly recover it. And it looks close to out of bounds, but I guess it is not. Truman somehow regained possession there without getting it out of bounds, and is just sort of trying to pass it, keep the ball alive for them, and maybe get something going down here. Blue Jays with the counterattack. They are now running it deep on the right wing. And again, still Blue Jays possession. A hard kick which will lead to out of bounds. I believe it is Truman's ball. No? It looks like a Truman player kicked out of bounds.
As we see some substitutions there from the Blue Jays.
And I'd like to confirm again. Actually, it was the Blue Jays who kicked it out of bounds. It is Truman's ball. And I believe Francisco Banalea is their goalie, just getting that ball, clearing it deep, and trying to help Truman's offense get something started here. As Truman attacks, almost tripped up. A counterattack from the Blue Jays. They now have possession. They themselves are running it deep. But looks like possibly it was number 16, Andy Mendoza, who was just sort of there trying to play some defense, trip up the Blue Jays, and try to get that ball away from them. A counterattack from Truman. They now have the ball. A header from Truman, passing it back to a swarm of Blue Jays. The Blue Jays now have that ball. They are going down the left wing, and a missed slide tackle. I believe that is out of bounds on the Blue Jays, so Truman will have possession. The ball is now back in play, and out of bounds on Truman. That will be Blue Jays ball. Really, this game just seems like a whole bunch of turnovers. What do you see?
Yeah, it's really back and forth. I feel like, as I said earlier, one team needs to keep possession, and it will be their game.
This game really is just a battle of possession right now, even though no score has been made. Their defense, both sides of their defense, is really just sort of stepping up today. This game could just be decided by 1 point, seeing how well their defense is playing. Truman now has possession. A lost ball. It is now Blue Jays ball, but they missed it as well. Truman regains possession, and a counterattack from the Blue Jays. A header from Truman. And what appears to be, number 14, Brody Mueller Brody Mueller has countered the ball and not make it go out of bounds on the Blue Jays. So this game really is just a battle of possession right now. A header from Truman, led by 2 Blue Jays there, ready to get that ball. And it looks like it is out of bounds on the Patriots. The Blue Jays will have the ball. Really what this turned into is who's going to get the ball out of bounds the most. Is that what it seems to me is that's what they're going for.
I don't really feel like that's what they're going for here, but it's what they kind of have to do when situations like that happen.
I mean, both sides of defense definitely playing well, and it looks like it is another out of bounds on Truman. It will be Blue Jays ball as they get ready to put it back into the field of play, and they do a header from the Blue Jays to get it out of bounds. That will be Truman's ball. With a little more than 12 minutes left to go in this first half, it is still 0-0. Francisco, their goalie, now has the ball for Truman as they get ready to clear it. And he clears it. A header from Truman. Another header from the Blue Jays. No one has ball. They are scrambling. Truman quickly gets the ball, but a counterattack from the Blue Jays. And another counterattack. They countered the counterattack. That's a lot of counters right there, especially in this game that we've seen. It's just been counter, 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 counter.
Yeah, it was a good steal there by Miguel Ramos.
And looks like it is out of bounds on the Blue Jays. It will be Truman's ball once again.
Score 0-0 with 11 minutes left to go in the game.
Johnny Contreras to throw the ball in. And Truman still has possession. Passing it deep. And a counterattack from the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays now have possession running down the left wing. And, Truman just barely kicks it out of bounds. Number 5, Rodelvi Alonso. It was the one who kicked it out of bounds. Alonso, thank you. Is the one who caused it to go out of bounds. Truman now has possession after the Blue Jays have put it into the field of play. Blue Jays now have possession of the ball, and their goalie with a clear to the right wing, a header by Truman. Truman still has possession of the ball. Passing the ball, just trying to get something going. A counterattack from the Blue Jays here, quickly getting to that ball. Getting a little close to the out-of-bounds line there. And it is out of bounds on the Blue Jays. It will be Truman's ball. Truman throws it close to the goalie. And the Blue Jays quickly with that counter. And again, out of bounds on the Blue Jays. Truman will be throwing it in. All right, so what are you seeing here now that it's almost the first half is over?
Well, we have seen some contact as there is a shot on goal there from Andy Mendoza.
Ball is out of bounds, and it is now Blue Jays ball. Austin Nelson is the Blue Jays goalkeeper. He's certainly been busy tonight.
Yes, he has.
He seems to be, I mean, it's not that really he seems to be more busy than Truman's Francisco is. I would say it's about an equal amount of work that they've each had tonight. Definitely just trying to play safe and not let anything slip up.
Yeah, there hasn't been too many opportunities for the goalies as in saves so far, but it's starting to pick up.
Blue Jays now have possession of the ball. They pass it to the left wing. Blue Jays are running it deep. Truman with the counterattack. Oh, it looks like there should have been a foul there, that there was contact. Number 11, Isaiah Botello, was just sort of causing some contact there, and surprisingly not a foul was called there. Out of bounds on Truman. It is now The Blue Jays ball as they get ready to go down close. Oh, then goalie now has possession of the ball. Why would he have possession of a ball? There's no ball in this game.
As he clears it there.
Scrambling for the ball. A header from Truman. Still scrambling for the ball. As Blue Jays quickly recovered it. A header from Truman again. Another header from the Blue Jays. Truman has possession. And clearing the ball. Going down to the right wing. As Blue Jays now have the ball. Blue Jays just sort of passing it around. Just trying to keep control. Sort of just keep the flow of this game.
A clear there by the Blue Jays.
Truman with another header. Truman now has possession. Blue Jays tried to do a counterattack, but luckily a Truman player was there to stop that counterattack from happening. That was number 11, Isaac Bottatello. A counter from the Blue Jays. They now have possession. Had almost a header from Truman. Bottatello again. He's really, what it looks like, Bottatello is really their key member right now.
Yeah, Bottatello is leading the team in goals scored, tied with Jose Calderon.
Blue Jays now have possession of the ball. Header from the Blue Jays. Scrumming for the ball. The Blue Jays still have possession. Two Patriots there just tried and stop. A third one comes down for it. Oh, a ball just in between the Patriots' legs. Okay, you have three members there. You need to stop that ball. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, as they try to right now, I think that was
Truman
Esteban.
counterattacks and now steals the ball, driving it forward. Just sort of dribbling it a little bit, just trying to draw this game out. Deep pass to the right wing. Counterattack from the Blue Jays. Blue Jays now have possession. Almost out of bounds on the Blue Jays. Truman's just sort of scrambling for the ball at this point. A header from Truman. Blue Jays recovered. Blue Jays going on the left wing. A slide tackle from Truman. It looks like it came in contact, but also was towards the Blue Jays.
And it looks like it will be out of bounds there. Blue Jays possession.
A header from the Blue Jays, who now has possession. Truman with a counterattack. A header from the Blue Jays. Blue Jays still have possession, passing to the left wing. A header from Truman. Truman appears to be the new possessor of the ball. Scrambling for the ball. A fight for the ball happening over there on the right side of the field. And out of bounds, possibly. Out of bounds on Truman. It is Blue Jays ball.
As we saw a little scramble there from Josh Dixon and one of the Blue Jays.
Little less than 5 minutes left to go in this first half. Still 0-0. These defensive players really are just trying to stop offense right now.
Yeah, what I've noticed so far is that every time there's been an opportunity, the defense sort of clogs the passing lanes up, and Truman or the Blue Jays don't have many opportunities to do anything.
Out of bounds on Truman. It is now Blue Jays ball as they get ready to clear it into the field of play. A swarm of both Blue Jays and Patriots just right there trying to stop the goal and possibly maybe score a goal. Scrambling for the ball. Header from Truman. Truman now has possession. Counterattack from the Blue Jays. Another header by Truman. Truman is close to getting possession, but the Blue Jays now have possession of the ball, passing it back. Blue Jays almost countering attacking. A header from the Blue Jays. Blue Jays still have possession. Another header from the Blue Jays. And a Patriot almost foul. That looks like it was number 11, Bottatello. He's really one of their key members tonight.
I don't believe that was Bottatello.
It looks like it was number 11.
No.
Blue Jays have possession. Almost lost it. Regained it quickly. Blue Jays still have possession as a sliding tackle from Truman. Truman now has possession. Truman passing it to the right wing. Going deep from the right wing, passing it. Blue Jays with the counterattack. Blue Jays now have possession. Number 3.
Jose Calderon.
He's just going all over the field right now.
Yeah, right now he's just trying to make something happen. He's a team captain.
It appears it is out of bounds on the Blue Jays. That will be Truman's ball. All right, you're Truman here with 3 minutes left to go. What do? You throw the ball deep, or do you throw it to one of your other teammates?
Definitely throw it to your teammates. Just try to get something going here as Miguel Ramos clears it.
Scrambling for the ball. A header from Truman. Another header from the Blue Jays. Blue Jays still have possession, and it is out of bounds. It will be Truman's ball. All right, now you're sort of bit down the field. Still just keep it to your player. Just try to make something happen. Or what do you do now?
Yeah, they do have enough time here to make something happen.
A counterattack from the Blue Jays. Oh, and they are in a fight for their lives as a Patriot player fell to the ground, and then number 16, Alec Rot Jacob, just quickly fell on top of him as well. That's not something you want to see, it could cost them an injury on both sides.
Yeah, I think they're both fine.
Well, that's always a good thing when players are fine and not hurt. Out of bounds on the Blue Jays, Truman's ball.
Number 20 just can't get to that one there.
Header by Truman. Counterattack from the Blue Jays. Blue Jays have possession. And out of bounds on Truman. It will be Blue Jays' ball. As Truman tries the counterattack, but just barely missed it and made it go out of bounds.
Seems like Truman won't be able to do anything right now with only 2 minutes left.
Truman hitting it out of bounds. It will be Blue Jays' ball. Blue Jays get ready to set the piece.
Corner shot here.
Swarm of both Blue Jays and Patriots just trying to fin that. Looks like again it is out of bounds on Truman, and it appears again it will be Blue Jays' ball.
As Francisco Bonilla gets a hand on that one, barely saves it.
Just barely. That's always a good thing, though, if you can save the ball and not get them to score. It is still 0-0 with less than a minute to go.
Way off there by number 14.
Blue Jays kick it out of bounds. It is Truman's ball. Francisco having possession of the ball right now, about to clear it. Just quickly checking his shoes, make sure everything is all right. And Francisco, he now clears the ball. A header from Truman. No! Just barely missed the header. Blue Jays with the counterattack. A header from the Blue Jays. And the ball keeps getting close. Oh! And it's out of bounds on Truman. The Blue Jays will have the ball with roughly about 10 seconds left to go in this first half. They're really trying to get something going here, but looks like the defense still just won't let them.
He missed the ball there. Looking for a big clear.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the half. The score is still 0-0. Both sides of the defense playing well, and we're going to take a quick break here for the halftime. And hello, guys. We are back from halftime. It is still 0-0. Liberty nothing, Truman nothing. And Liberty's a good team. The Blue Jays. So this is actually really good for Truman right now. Just making this game go to a stall. Well, draw, not really a stall.
As we see another penalty there from number 4, Jose Ramirez.
Offsides was the penalty. And clearing the ball. Header trying to get some possession, but the Blue Jays now have possession of the ball. Blue Jays striking from the right side of the wing. Recycling the possession as the Blue Jays now have possession of the ball. Header just trying to get some better position. Truman counters attacks. And a clear.
And a hold up there by the Blue Jays as they try to gain possession here.
Kick out to the right side of the wing. Blue Jays still have possession. Truman steals possession, but there is a penalty on the play. I believe that is on Truman.
Head coach Manny Tovar, a bit surprised by that one.
I mean, if you're Tovar, you're feeling good right now. It's still 0-0. What do you keep doing? And it is now 1-0. Blue Jays now have a point on the board, and your Truman Patriots nothing. All right, so now it's 1-0. It's no longer tied. What do you do?
Well, before that goal was scored, I was going to say just keep on clogging up the holes, the passing lanes and everything like that on defense, but seems like the Blue Jays found something there and hit the corner of the goal. I just tried to be aggressive here, man.
I mean, aggressive is really all that you need right now, especially when it's kind of a slow game and this is just now the first point being scored. But as we know, Truman has came back before, and I believe it was from a 5-point deficit.
Yes.
And, I mean, within 14 minutes left, so this game is definitely not over. A lot of people like to use the phrase, the game's not over till it's over. It's really true here.
Yeah, it really is disappointing seeing that Truman could not get that first goal as they did on these past 3 games. They just need to change their mindset now of protecting that goal and not letting them get any more.
And it appears it is out of bounds on Truman. It is Blue Jays ball. And it's been roughly about 2.5 minutes into the half. And looks like the Blue Jays are getting ready to strike once again. A header from Truman. Repossession, a counterattack from Truman. Trying to get the ball. Clearing the ball down the pitch. And it appears Blue Jays goalie will now have the ball as he gets prepared to clear it. Clears it to the left side of the wing.
As we see a scramble there by some of the Truman players.
Looks like they're just trying to recycle possession here, just try to get a better look than what they're receiving right now, just sort of get some more points on that board. Truman now has possession of the ball. Going down the right side wing. Clearing the ball. Truman still has possession. And a change of possession as the Blue Jays quickly grab it. Some nice dribbling there on the Blue Jays side of the field. Just getting that ball just passed away so that way Truman cannot steal it. And it looks like it was number 2 for the Blue Jays, Nick Olson, just trying to clear that ball away from Truman and get it down to where their goalie can sort of just take control at that point.
As a recycle of possession there, Blue Jays just trying to get a good look at this Patriot defense, trying to find some holes.
And we have